My life is short, yeah. My life is short. My life is short, yeah. Purple camera, rebel on my shoulder blade. Teflon ammo, Kevlar panels on my motorcade. War with haters till they lay me in the soldier's grave. Halo, purple heart metal on my whole brigade. In a man with no ambition makes the coldest slave. Them in the prison, see you sitting up in an open cage. Feel like I risen to my chosen age. One of the best when I was drunk, y'all still can't see me in my sober face. My soul is saved. That's success, go repay.
Hey Google, shut down.
Why do you think it's cold here, Steve?
Because I wanted a little check. I thought you wanted some air. You know it's been too stuffy in here anyway. The heat is on 24/7, non-stop. You have to open the window sometimes.
You're always talking about women, African women, African women. What is it about that?
We're talking about what we did today, or what we view today. I don't want to say names, because I don't want to put people, YouTube out there, so they think we're coming at them. But you heard them going on hours and hours and hours.
Some water. Can you get some? I don't want children. Let me get these.
Well, I do.
Okay, let's get started. What?
Well, what is it? Africans. My children are African.
No, not African, like African women. These are modern women. That's how you call it.
Modern women. Yeah, we don't call it African women. We call it modern women. Not Black American thing, not white. Call it modern women. It's a terminology that's being used today for what we talk about.
She's sleeping, so we can get started.
You need a coat? I'll just close the window.
I'm cold.
Okay. Let me get done record. Everything is live, but for this, we have to record. No yawning while you're on screen. If you ever wanted to be an actor or be in a movie, people will never call you because they see you yawning on screen. So it's automatically turned down. Maybe you get big. We get big one day, 1,000,000 subscribers. They're like, "Oh, I want to put that person in my movie," and they hear.
It's involuntary reaction. I can't control that. You know.
See,
right?
That's the difference between an actor and an everyday person. An actor can control that. That's what they call actors, ways with their bodies to do so. So I'm just saying. But all right, let's begin. All right, what's up? This is Marion Ghana, the Marion Ghana Show with Stephen and
Susie.
All right, today the title is Should Men or Women Go Overseas to Find a Wife or Husband? And today, I think you're going to like this conversation. And I want you to let me know what you think about it. It's a 13-minute conversation, so it's normally interrupt when I feel a need to interrupt. And this have you ever heard? Have you ever heard of a rapper named Foxy Brown?
No,
Well,
maybe I don't know him by name, but
no,
his
it's not.
face.
It's not a him. It's not a guy. It's a girl. So you don't know. But she used to rap with Jay-Z back in the day. And I think she got into a car accident. I forget what happened to her or some type of disease. I don't know, but she lost her voice from New York. But when I seen this girl, she looked just like Foxy Brown, but she's an African. I don't know from where. Maybe we'll find out any interview here. But she talked like she's from New York. And, I hate the New York accent. I can't say that on thing. The New York accent is not the best one to me. It sounds so similar to the one in Boston. But we are who we are. Sometimes I pass be like I sound like I'm from New York or something. I'm like, nah, not really. But this girl, she's going
Is she
to
also a singer? Is she a musician or anything? The African girl you're talking
the
about.
one. No, she's right here. She's just every day after. I don't even listen. I only heard like about 2 minutes of it, so I didn't even really hear it because I like real reactions to actual videos. I don't like the I only do that when I'm trying to explain or teach something. But if I'm not teaching, I just want a reaction. That's what the reaction is for, not for it to be a first time. So like I said, I went through like 2 minutes, and I thought this was a good thing to use because I was actually going to use another video that we listened to earlier today. But I was like, that'd be too obvious. And I mean, we can get into all that, but let me I always forget to do something. I don't know why, man. It's like sometimes my mind is not there. Or a lot of times.
Wait on the Lord.
You good? Still? You see yourself? All right, yeah, we good. All right, so let's get into the video so we can start the conversation. Because I don't want to keep you away from that good old fried chicken that you're about to make, or you season and you want me to fry.
Conceptions of African women generally, of African people, but mainly women. Let's just say with the women. What is the misconceptions to Americans about African women?
I'll say African women are people who have hearts, 100%. And I feel coming to America, a lot of like foreigners or a lot of Americans tend to, understand that the wrong way, but they fail to realize that Liberians, it's like when we were kids, our parents told us, you get married, you make sure you keep your husband. Like even when a Liberian get in a relationship, they don't want to keep moving from one relationship to the next. Let's just say they get in a relationship this month and they have to get in another the next month. Like they don't believe in that. They believe in being with a guy for years and actually, being with that person for a long time. It's like a fairy tale. But this is the thing though about Liberians. They do have the strategies to keeping a good husband. And that's good sex. Being committed, making sure you tell your husband you love him, cook, clean.
I did hear that. So,
my brother Gordon, who married a Liberian, no name dropping. I already said his name. Yeah. Well, he's my brother. I'm not going to say her name. So he married her. They had a son. He divorced her. Maybe 10 years. I think it lasted about 10 years. And what I learned from that relationship of him marrying a Liberian is it's really no different. It depends on the person.
Yeah.
But also what I did notice that when I would come around her family. They live in the Darby area. There's a lot of Africans in the Derby area now and in Philadelphia, right there off Main Street. So when I would be around a family, I mean, like no tomorrow, I thought I was a drinker. And back then, people knew how I was drunk. Like I love getting drunk. I love drinking and doing whatever. But man, the way they was doing it, I could never take liquor. That was my, that's my kryptonite. I can't take liquor, so I was always a beer guy. But they would be drinking liquor bottles, going through liquor bottles. I mean, this was on a weekly basis sometimes. And even when I got to kind of know stories about people, and the Liberian girls who were in the family were just as promiscuous as the so-called American women. So to me, I seen that it really wasn't no difference. But what happens, they say that a lot of people come here from other countries and they get westernized. It's the
Change.
Yeah, but I think whatever's in you is already in you to begin with. You just get an opportunity to be what you already are. I mean, that's how I think of things, because I could look at that at my situation with Nigerians, Togoians, and Ghanaians and Egyptians. And at the end of the day, you had some who were just out there, and you had some who were traditional. And I stuck with the one that I thought was more traditional, which is you. So, but I think we get crossed up that if a person is from here, they're automatically going to be this way. You know what I mean?
Mhm. So the drinking habit of your sister-in-law, is that sister-in-law, right? Or how do I call it?
No, she never drunk.
No, I want to ask you, like, was he the guys or the girls?
It was the guys mostly, but there was some, like they had girlfriends who were Liberians, so they came from the same country. That's why I say that. I don't put that on her. As far as I know, she up to that point, she's never drank. But this girl is saying that a Liberian knows how to keep a man because of good sex, telling you love him, and cooking for him. That's really the
basic
basics.
stuffs.
That's the basics. That's the bare minimum. So if she's saying that I give my Liberians know how to get a bare minimum, I'm thinking that, damn, just about every girl from every country on earth know how to do that. So that's not like a whoop-de-doo. Like you get credit for that, because a man can't build off of you just saying, I love you, let me give you good sex, and let me cook a meal for you.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as
to bring something to the table.
Yeah, men could cook for themselves. I always say this, and people get mad. As much as I like to cook, and I strive to be the best professional cook that I can, and moving into that lane, I could cook for myself. I always say men are the best cooks in the world. And then a woman would look at me like, why would you say that? Well, if you look at the chefs in the world, who are they? Are they male or female? Then you look at it, wow, damn, all the chefs in the world are men. Am I lying? So that tells you something. And as far as I love you, they're just words. As far as sex, man, men got left hands. So at the end of the day, a man can figure his own way out to the promised land. You know what I mean?
You can never use sex to pinch a man down. Like, sex is nothing to
Yeah, a
them.
man can get sex from any woman on the corner and be great, but that sex should be as great as it want, but it doesn't do anything for a man who's trying to become something in life. It's a moment that you share. It's 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever that you share. But at the end of the day, when that's over, then what do you have? You don't have anything. You got to move on. But there's something else that I want to get into, but let's see what she's talking about.
Yeah, it's amazing that African women are known to be very deep into their marriage.
Yes.
Would you say, what's the word that people hate to say in America, but would you say
Submissive.
Obedient?
Oh, I thought you were going to say submissive.
What would you say? What would you respect? What's another word that people use? Submissive. Would that be?
Oh, you did say it.
Answer question. Like, would you
Meaning
say that?
meaning like being
Would they
obedient
say
to your husband.
Right.
It's not just about being obedient. You have to make sure the guy is the type of guy that understands too. Because some guys, you put them in authority, they take advantage of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So why would you obey a guy that disrespects you so much? That's where the whole letting the person go comes in place. Let that guy go. There's a lot of good guys around. So,
Now, I know people might not agree with this, what I'm about to say, but anytime a girl opens her mouth and she has the words or the vocabulary of "nah I'm saying" or "yeah I'm saying," automatic to me, she's not to be respected.
Oh my goodness.
In the back of my mind, I don't respect her. But yeah, if I'm a single man out there doing whatever, I'm gonna show whatever I need to just to get and go. But the minute a woman start talking about "yeah I'm saying," "nah I mean," too much hit for me because you can't fix that.
It's like, you know what I mean? Do you want it to
No,
be breaking down like that? Or because she sound like
you're
that's
African,
supposed to
so
be
you don't
said?
understand. That
Okay.
that is a terminology to let you know that I'm from the ghetto and I'm ghetto and I don't have I'm of a lower class. I belong to the low class of citizens in the United States of America. That's what that vernacular stands for.
How do you say it?
It's a Philly term. You know what I mean? I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? So,
Oh
yeah, we men say that, but the minute we men off the middle and up hear women say that, then we know that this woman, she's a ghetto, she's a street girl. She's what they term the term now is 304. And I'm guessing that's a term because that's what I hear associated with it. What it's called 304 girls, city girls, or girls of lower value. Because if you have a girl who goes, whether she goes to college or not, but say like want to go to college or brought up in a good family home, school well, they're not going to speak that way. And I'm sure that in Ghana there are some types of way that girls talk, like when a girl is educated and when she's not.
Right.
So when a girl speaks like this, we know automatically this girl's not educated at all. So when a girl's uneducated, 9 times, I would say 10 times out of 10, she's been around the block because she doesn't have the mindset to understand how to present herself and
Express herself.
express herself in a way that people could respect her back, reciprocate back. But when they speak like this, that terminology just lets you know, damn, she's of a lower class. It's just the way it is. You hear how she talks, and then you listen to say like a lawyer or someone at the average job or whatever. You never hear them speak like this. There's a reason for that because they went to school and they understand how to speak. They understand the English language. We're living under the rule that we live in, and we speak English. But there's level to everything in life.
Okay, so instead of sounding like that, they should replace it by like saying, "Do you understand me?"
You're not getting it.
No, I get it.
They speak this way because they don't know any other way too. You know, when you have a short vocabulary span and you don't understand wordplay, or you're not able to, as you say, express yourself through a length of words, your vocabulary shortens. Therefore, you speak in a certain manner because you don't have anything else at your disposal. And this is what you come out sounding like. So this is what it is. So automatically when she speak and she's talking about, a lot of good men out there, this and the other, imagine this. I always go back to this. Imagine me and you going to an event filled with millionaires, their wives on their arms. There's a ball, like everybody in beautiful dresses. And everybody like, oh, how are you, Susie? Oh, your wife's name is Susie. Oh, you look so beautiful. Beautiful name. And then somebody else comes up with their girl or wife. Susie, you know what I'm saying? That name look, that's you know what I mean? Um, then you're gonna be like, hold up, is she in the right place?
Yes,
No, be honest. Be honest. You're gonna think to yourself, is she in the right place? You're gonna think to yourself, she doesn't belong. Am I lying?
I get your point. I get you. So
All right.
listen to her.
Next one, I would like to say, myth or true, is it that are African women willing to marry a man that has 5 other wives? Is this a myth or false?
This is actually very true.
That's true.
Because I'm pretty sure Liberians already know about Charles Tiller. When Charles Tiller came into power, he had about
Charles Tiller?
He was actually the rebel leader that led the war that finished in 2003. But he actually had about 5 wives. And Liberians, I'll say it was probably written in their constitution that a god could have as many wives as he pleases. Yeah. Yep.
You heard him?
Why so many American men cheat?
Yo, you heard him?
He wanted it to be him.
He's like, damn.
As long as he can take care of all of them.
No, I'm just going on by his how you heard his smile. He like,
Yeah.
that's like you say, yo, bro, I just hit $1 million. He's like, see what I'm saying?
It's not going on no more. Like,
Oh, it's not.
what woman would want that? Come on.
I don't think a woman would want that, but
No,
were they accustomed to just accepting that?
Yeah, that was the religion back then. That
So
was
that's-
like the culture back then.
That's no longer the case.
well, we know the cultures because that a lot of women needed to be provided for. You know, that goes back to what we talked about before, biblical times. Women needed to be provided for. On this earth, there are close to 10 times more women than there are men. And if you associate every man with a woman, then you got 9 out of 10 women who can't be provided for, especially in cultures like these where women don't have access to money and a means to provide for themselves, especially if they have children. And if something happened to the husband previously. So yes, that's a provision. And a lot of cultures, it's a provision. She's talking about love and all this. A lot of that stuff has to do with provisions, not love.
And also, in the olden days, women don't, like you said, provision. Women don't go out hunting for jobs, like having their own jobs to cater for themselves, like to take care of themselves. The man is responsible for all that. So all he has to do is marry you, sit at home, have kids with him, be in the kitchen. That's all you have to do. And he goes out, do all the work and bring money home. So if he wants more wives, you have no choice whether you like it or not. Some is situational. Situational in the sense that he wanted maybe a male child or a female child, and you just giving him one sex child, like just one sex.
That happens today still, yeah.
Exactly. So maybe you just having female kids, just male
Because a
kids.
man has to carry on his legacy. If a man is only have a female kids and he's never had a son, don't have a son, then it's only right for that man to go.
Right.
Yes, it is. Why would that man allow his legacy and his name to die? That doesn't make sense. You live your life for nothing. A man, the majority of a man's purpose, aside from things that are godly, is carrying on his legacy through his seed. You can't carry on your seed through a daughter, as you know. So yes, if somebody give you, like we seen a Puerto Rican couple walking down, he like it was 5 daughters, and I was like, dang, no boy. He was like, done trying. But at the end of the day, a man still has to have a seed to carry on his legacy. That's a necessary thing, especially when you have something to pass down. Now we don't have anything to pass down. That's different.
So you can give it to your female children?
Because it's not in her name, and that name is going to go into someone else's name, and they get that. So that family name is going to be carried on by everything that you gave
Do
into
you
her.
know that some women get married but never take their husband's surname, first name?
Rookie,
or
how
whatever?
often is that?
Right. It happens. You know it's real, right?
How
They
often
still
is that?
carry their father's name with them.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't happen with me, and I would never allow my son to allow woman he married to allow the same.
Well,
So.
it's something you have to talk about even before you
Well,
get married.
some things there is no compromise. That's one thing that is not.
And there are some female children who are worth more thousands than they are worth more than a son, than 1,000 sons. You know that, right? You can have thousands or many male children that are so irresponsible. You know that, right?
At the end of the day, is that woman going to carry your legacy? No, she isn't.
Mm. So what?
Because even if you talking about keeping the surname, you talk all that when she have kids with that man, who that child name going to take out though?
Stuff. If your wife keep giving birth to female children, or let's say your wife keep giving birth to male children, that is how it's supposed to. It's not her fault in the first place. And secondly, God knows what is he has in place. So you don't just, okay, so what happens? You keep changing women, and you still keep having female children. And if you want to still have male child or whatever, you might end up having some some child that you won't even be proud
You're
of.
saying God knows, but God always also allow men to have children with concubines in order to make sure they do have a male child to carry on their legacy. So, you know,
Mm,
comes back to what it is that I'm
okay.
saying. But let's go.
All right.
I won't say that's no longer the case because I
This
haven't really
remind me
been
of
to the
what the
countryside, which I'm pretty sure it goes on there. But with an educational woman, obviously that's not the case no more because I'm about to learn all this like my mom told me years ago, telling me that if you get your education and all of this, your husband will love you and only you. And then I get all this education, then I come and I have to look at the first wife and give her respect, the second wife. Meanwhile, I'm the fifth wife. Like, cool.
Would you date a man in America that was married? I'm only asking that because of where you came from.
I definitely.
Before she answer this, if the answer is no, she's already lying. Because when you answer that question, is either automatically no. When you go,
He's tricking her.
no, that's
She
not a
should
trick
have said
question.
that.
That's not a trick
Why? Because
question.
we are in America?
He asked a simple question. He said, would you date a man in America who's married?
What's the difference?
That's a yes or no.
America is the only difference.
Doesn't matter.
So what is it?
He asked a question.
I would never do that.
Okay, so you didn't go, What that's saying is that only if he was cute enough to me, he had enough money to take care of me, and I'll be on his side and be a side chick. That's what. Let's see what she's gonna say. But that's the answer.
Will not, and I have my claim onto that. It's because
She
my
lying.
grandma always used to say this. We want to make sure you have your husband and your husband for yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? Let's just say you meet a white guy who has a white wife. Obviously, he's going to put that white lady first because, first of all, he's basically using you. Basically. So
Well, most men marry the man.
Hold up, that didn't make any sense at all.
No. Using him because you're black?
But that didn't make any sense.
No.
A white man is going to marry a white woman and is going to put her first, but he's going to use you.
No.
That has nothing to do with color.
No.
That has absolutely no color.
Right.
I don't even know how color got into this conversation. But let's go on because I don't know how to comment on that because it doesn't make sense. So
And you know how some white men really love African women because I don't know, maybe they trying to see a whole lot of difference in it. When you have an African woman, you can see a whole lot of difference. Like
some people like different things, different cultures. They like things that are different or opposite of them. I mean, it's just people, man. It's just how it is. Like I said, the uncle that I was raised by, white Irish man, married my uncle who's a black American. They've been married for 30 years now, about 12 children. So, I mean, people like different things, and it's not always to hate on your own color or your own kind. Some people just like different things. Like there's men, I'm sure, that's like me that growing up, I like different things, experience. You like to understand and see. Just for you to be with your own doesn't mean that you love your own. Because there's people that are with black people that are married and they beat on their wives, they cheat on their wives. They do everything that is destructive to their family. So that's not love. So just being with your own doesn't make it that you love your own. You could love your own. Like a lot of people talk about people who marry outside of their race and they say they don't love their own people. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I could have married a white woman.
It's their choice.
I chose not to marry a white woman, even though the opportunity was there. I chose not to because I felt that I didn't, I don't want light skin or mixed kids. That's just me. That's my preference. I don't want light skin or mixed kids to carry my skin color. That's a color that I adore. So I want my kids to be that. So it's a preference. And say like I never ran into you, but not even me or whoever. You run into somebody who's white, but you had the same preference I have, but you fall in love. Then you deal with that. You don't let that be something that holds you back from being with somebody you love. Like I said I just had a preference, but doesn't mean that it's going to hold me back from being with someone that I actually truly love within my heart, and I feel like I could be with and work through with them for the rest of my life. I mean, there's a lot of intricacies when it comes to relationships.
Women,
exactly.
This is true.
And they come up with the sweet talks and all of that. So I'll say no. I said no. Definitely not. I want my husband for myself and myself only.
So this is an African woman that obviously does not believe in none of those things that they created. She's definitely. Would you consider that being Americanized? I mean,
with the having multiple wives.
Well, unfortunately, guys here we have multiple women and we're not supposed to. But if a man is married and has, if you're supposed to be with one man or one woman, which is the American way to do that by law, do you agree with that?
I don't, because that's adultery.
No. Being with one. Being with one. Oh, you agree with that?
I won't say I got it from America. I actually got it from the Bible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did. I ain't really get it.
Ain't just about America now, you people.
See?
Why is he always about America? What's so
You know how that goes. But she said what she got from the Bible. And this would always say that people, whoever she learned the Bible from, because she never read it herself, she don't even understand the Bible. And she's saying, I got it from the Bible. Because we had this video before that in the Bible, adultery, the only one who could commit adultery is a woman who sleeps with someone who's not her husband, or a man who sleeps with another woman's wife. That's the only form of adultery that exists in the Bible.
We really have to highlight on that issue.
All right, but I'm saying that's in the Bible. But she said that a man sleeping with another woman, that's like calling Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, everybody. David wasn't adulterous because he slept with somebody else's wife. But aside from him, but you know what I'm saying. That's like calling everybody in the Bible who was servants of God an adulteress, when that's a lie. So that's why I say people throw this Bible thing out there and they don't have a clue what they're talking about because they was taught this from America. America doesn't know the Bible. Americans never even study the Bible. Those who do, people don't really listen to. They just listen to ignorant pastors and at the podium. But say what you was going to say.
Oh, I was just saying that Abraham, Solomon, Solomon also had so many wives and all that.
900 wives and concubines. And God loved them dearly.
Yeah, but you see their end, right?
Because he had too many. He wanted too much. He couldn't get enough. Yes. The Bible says too much of anything is not a good thing.
But where in the Bible did God say you can marry more than one wife? All we all know is that a man shall leave his mother.
It started off in the Mosaic Law. If you want to go to the book of Deuteronomy, that's when he gave the ordainment for men to take more than one wife. So yes, it's in the Mosaic Law. We don't live by the Mosaic Law today. But even so, stop saying that. Man, Adam and Eve. Nobody knows how many wives Adam had. We don't know anything about their story, really. All we know that Cain took many of his sisters for wives, and so down the line that the men were taking many of the women for wives. We know that, and God looked at that as a way to expand the earth. And then down the line later, when you go to Israel, Babylon, and all this, it was still in effect. Even in the New Testament, when you talk about, that's why I hate when people misinterpret the context of a man will take his wife. A man will leave his home. Just what does it say? A man and a woman will leave their home. Yeah. But that was from the beginning. That was also said in the beginning that a man should leave his home and a woman should leave his home and they would become one. That was from the beginning. Every time a man took a wife, they became one. Mm-hmm. So it never had anything. There's nowhere in the Bible that says that a man could have one wife, but is in the Bible that a man could have more than one wife and concubines. You see what I'm saying? So it's there in the Bible that says a man could, but it's not there to say a man couldn't.
I'll read more about it because of what she's saying right now.
Read it.
I'm really going to read more about it.
And it's about feelings too. Why would you want a guy, first of all, not share your heart? If you split it, you're going to be dead. So
See,
That's true.
this is another misconception of women. Women love based on the heart, their feelings, excuse me, their feelings and emotions. Men don't love off feelings and emotions. So she's looking at it like, how can a man really love a woman? Men love women similar to how Christ loved us. Christ don't love in a romantic way. He loved in an agape way, providing, protecting, and being emotional support and protection, all those things. So men also love women the same way that Christ loved them. So the Bible says that a man should love his wife as Christ loved them. So technically, men who do love that way are doing just as the Bible states. Men do not love emotionally. That is not the way God intended it to be. Love your wives just as I love you. Christ don't love men in a romantic way. Christ loved them in an agape way. So that's why he said for men to love them the same way. Women love emotionally and through the heart and through their feelings. Men do not. But see, misunderstanding and not being able to grasp these things gets you to thinking like this.
Mm.
Men do not think the same way that women do. As much as women, y'all want us to think the same way that y'all do. Y'all want us to love the same way that y'all do. We're not created that way.
So you're saying that men show their love by expressing it in actions, what they do.
Exactly. Women express it over their emotions and their feelings. Men actions.
Mm.
Christ shows through his actions. He told men to be just like him. We show through our actions. He never said anything about the wives. Oh, he said to the men, though. He always spoke to the men. This is what you need to do.
Mm.
And all he said from wives is to be in subject to your husbands, under the authority of your husbands.
Right, right. So it's like God has specifically told everyone what the other needs to do.
Exactly.
Men love your wife as I love the church or something like that. I don't know. And then
Right.
women also be submissive.
Right.
But
So
we are
yeah,
exchanging it
yeah, because it
now.
never said women. It never said wives love
Love
the
your
husband
husband.
as I love you. And he never said that.
Mm.
He never once said that. He said men love as I love, but he said wives be in subjection or authority of your husband. You see, he never
So
said.
I think maybe we always try to twist God's words. Like
Yup.
whenever God says
It's
something,
both.
we
It's
want
all
to
people.
add our own intelligence,
Interpretation.
right? Just add it to it and try to conform it and transform the whole situation.
But
And
that
I think that's why women always get hurt, like so emotional, because they put all of their feelings in it. But it's like the man will just come. So and it's not gonna work like that. Like you coming to me, hey, I want to marry you. And I'll be like, okay, because I'm not supposed to love you, right?
hmm?
Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
Men love your wife. Women be submissive. All the wife has to do is be submissive.
Nobody said all. We are. He's talking foundational aspect of a marriage, the foundational point. We could go throughout all the old and the new and find more information and more details on the roles and how people are supposed to respond and act to certain matters. So you can't just say all. There's never no such thing as all I have to do. Yes, men grow into relationships with the wives who they marry. Women, more times out of 10, love that man emotionally when they marry them. So it's different. That's what I'm saying, that you can't expect two different types of species to act or think, have the mindset of each other. It just doesn't work that way. It's not built that way. So it was never made that way. But we fall away from that. And that's why we see all the bickering and we're always at each other's throat and everything's out of position. Everything is chaotic. And the reason for that is because we don't look at it through the eyes of God. One thing I realized in life, if I looked at everything through the eyes of God, half of the things I think and feel, I wouldn't think and feel. You understand? Because I know that my ways are so corrupted because of the growing up in this world and the things that I see, some of the bad habits that I took on. But that's just showing the depravity of mankind and how far we are from the order of God. If we seen everything God's way, we wouldn't be living this life that we live in now. We wouldn't be
Right.
stuck where we are now. I mean, A perfect man, Adam, couldn't even do it God's way. So how much less than we're going to do it? So all that is showing us why the turmoil is in our relationships and our marriages, because we don't see things the way God did, and the way that He instituted things to be. If we did, then we could have profitable and beautiful relationships
Right.
because it will all connect together and
Yeah.
go hand in hand. But we're so out of order, and as long as we're out of order, we're all man and woman going to be out of order to the day that He comes. That's just the way it is. We're fallen creatures, so we just got to work our way through it. So, I mean, it's no slight against one or the other. I'm saying this is the reason why it is the way that it is.
Share your heart because
6
but it could be dead.
Exactly.
You can express love,
Right.
you can't share your heart.
And some guys don't even mean what they say, so yeah.
Do you find
with a
out
lot
that
of
you as an
poopies and
African
ray-rays.
woman, when they see you, and you built naturally and all the above, how do you feel now when you're here? And I'm pretty sure you've seen this living in Staten Island. You see white girls that got body types like yours. Can you understand why black guys are dating women outside of their race, such as white women? Or do you feel you as an individual, you have a little confusion with that because you're like, yo, it's all right here. What's up with that? What do you feel? As a black American woman from the motherland, what do you feel about interracial dating, black man dating outside
Like
of
a
their race?
Spanish. Okay, I'll say.
Spanish woman too. Spanish woman, the Spanish woman and the white woman. How do you feel about that?
Okay,
Oh
so
my
this is
goodness.
my claim. I don't
I
know
didn't
if
even put
others
it on
have
the
counter
podcast,
claims, but I'll say
Get
it's
it.
because nowadays in the black
upload the
community,
audio, so.
our black women, it's like they feel the need to defend themselves. Let's just say when I say, "Oh, don't go here," she'll be like, "I ain't gonna listen to what you're saying. I'm about to go hang out with my girls." You think Spanish girls gonna do that, especially with the fact that they crazy? No. So a black guy gonna go for the Spanish girl that don't really love him but seem to love him, than a black girl who's just being aggressive, fighting you, kicking you out and all of that.
So you feel that black women,
Yo, she's making less sense than every minute. She's making less and less sense. She said that why you want to go for the Latinos who are going to be the same as blacks, and but why not stay with a black girl who's maybe kick you out and maybe be aggressive?
No,
and
she's rather saying the opposite of that. She's saying the Spanish or whatever and the white ladies, they are cool to deal with. And then the black girls, they are so aggressive. You can take it back.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying the same thing.
Oh.
So, I mean, she's giving every reason not to mess with a black girl, though.
But not all black. It's in every race.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's why I don't generalize anything.
It's just your choice. If you want to be with a white man, a white girl, whatever, it's your choice. It doesn't mean the other race is bad. No.
It's just that people have these what's the word I'm looking for? Stereotypes. So people carry stereotypes, and unfortunately, it still sticks today. Like black women are. See, when you get to the black women are aggressive and unruly and not able to behave. I always look. That's the bottom. That's the lower level. Like that's the lower class of black women. I don't really think that is a lot of the middle to the upper class women. I think that the bottom half, the lower class, the poor class, poverty class, whatever you want to call it, they're so more spoken because when you're single and you run in the streets, you're going to be heard, especially on social media or everywhere. When the women who are not like that are in their homes with their husband and taking care of their kids, so you're not going to hear from them. So unfortunately, the only ones that the majority of people from other races hear when it comes to black people are those who are single mothers who've been through many men, who are not as educated or who are not as financially up there and are not around them class of people. You see what I'm saying? So you hear their voices are going to be out there more than those who are not out there speaking, because when you're a mother and you're a wife, you're not on social media 24 hours a day and running your mouth. You're just not. You know what I mean?
I understand you, but women being aggressive, I don't think that has anything to do with class. you have no idea what women can do. We just haven't been given the chance and opportunity. Situations happen. It depends. It all depends on how you treat her. You have no idea what even a girl, a teenage girl, can do to a grown-up man. If you don't treat her right, women are just something. We have so much fire in us that if you it's so what I'm trying to say is it's not about class. Like if you are in a class, you're not going to be too aggressive. No, it doesn't go like that. When you treat her right, you will see the best of it.
I'll say that everybody has fire in them. That's just human nature, man or woman. I'm saying that those who are at one class are able to have self control, control themselves. You have people who are not as educated or have not been taught or raised well who don't have any control, self control over
That has to
themselves.
do with character.
Well, this is the same character then. Let's say
Yes,
character. All right, I would say
character.
character.
Exactly. Not education
Right.
status. It's
All
about
right,
character
character. I
and
would
how
stick
you've
with
been
character.
brought up. Exactly. If you're from a responsible home, you've been brought up by both parents or whatever, either one parent or whatever, but you've been brought up responsibly. You know how to control yourself. You know how to control your anger. You know how to take care of yourself when stuffs happen. So it deals with where you're coming from, and also, like I'm saying right now, when you come from the street, you know the hustling, and then you have to fight your way to get what you want all the time. So that kind of emotion is in you. You have to always fight to get something. So just a little thing, you snap out of it. Just a little thing, you snap out of it. So that's how
Well,
it works.
what you said before, we got to do another video for that, but that girls can, know what women can do. And I do know, we see it every day. But you also see a lot of these so called IG models winding up in body bags for the things that they do to men. Because
Yeah.
today's men are not like the men before. The men before would allow things to slide because they were men. These men were raised by a single woman also. So they have a mindset as a woman. They think like a woman. So the way a woman would snap, the same way they'll snap today. So that's why I said that it's not the older days. It's not 10, 20 years ago. Today, you got women really got to be careful because these new guys, these young guys, they take a skateboard and break it over the head of any 15-year-old chick just from looking at them the wrong way these days. So, like what you're saying, I get that, but today can't really fly like that anymore. You see all the killing that's going on here. You see people don't care about putting a bullet in the head of a woman. How many of these girls you see on IG Live or Facebook Live getting shot right on live by guys?
Yeah, like you're right though. It's not just about one gender. It's everybody. Everybody is capable of doing something. You see how people do some crazy stuff and they be like, no, but he doesn't even look like that kind of person who can do it. So anybody is capable of something. When someone keep pushing you and pushing you, you just do what
But
you
that's what I'm saying. But today it doesn't even take a push. People are so soft today. I mean, people are so easily offended today that
yeah,
the
little thing.
yeah the remember when we was what I said the guy I said he was on his Umar because the minute somebody disagreed with him, he's like such and such, you're blocked, you're blocked, you're blocked. He was on a straight Umar Johnson today. I'm like, damn, I thought dude was better than that, but I'm like, damn, bro.
He was just blocking
Yeah,
people.
that sounds so soft though. But that just goes to show that people are so easily they get broken down by just simple words.
Are aggressive mostly? Do you feel that?
Not every black woman, but what we're talking about, like it comes from nurture. If kids learn about what they see,
Right.
And mostly in the black community, we tend to see that the black people, it's like they feed off their environments and their family members.
Right.
So if a black woman is seeing her mom hitting her dad or her dad hitting her mom, what do you think she's gonna like? She's gonna like that, right?
Right. Right.
She's gonna feel like that's the guys we have now, so she don't have to deal with it because that's women nature. They have to deal with everything. You know what I'm trying to say? We have a lot of burdens on our shoulders, but we have to deal with it.
So that's in that respect, you feel as if black
Like
women
you've
are
heard a lot.
misinterpreted.
They could be because most black women don't know how to express themselves, and I feel like that's where the whole anger comes from sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She says she feels that black women don't know how to express themselves, and that's what the frustration.
Now, what I want to say, she's in this interview chewing gum. That's the look of a prostitute.
Oh my
No.
goodness. Are you serious?
I'm just saying that's the look of a prostitute. That's what street prostitutes do. They chew gum like that, and she's in an interview and you're chewing gum. Secondly, she seems like she's been hurt a lot. Thirdly, no man who has a lot going and a lot of options want a broken woman. They just don't, because it's too much to have to deal with. You want to concentrate on the things you want in life and get to where you're going in life, and be successful. So those type generally do not go for a woman who they know and see that are broken and have a lot of hurt in their lives. And that's why a lot of successful men go for younger women who haven't been around a lot of men or been with a lot of men, because they know that they haven't been corrupted, broken, or their trust issues and all that anger issues. They have not gotten out of control. See, a woman like this, and I don't have anything against her. I'm just saying that by just listening to her, the way, I'm get away from the way that she speaks, but what she says and the way that she's speaking, is she will never be ideal for a man who can provide decently for a family and keep a at-home wife.
Because she's chewing gum?
No, I said because by the things that she's saying, you could tell that she's broken and she's been through a lot with a lot of different men. And men who are, like I said, have a lot of options generally do not choose these types of women to be with. They choose them to sleep with. And that's a lot of times where the brokenness come in, because she get men who are willing to use her, but not to stay with her. And that's why I said women don't understand how to identify the right men to choose, to build with, to be with, whatever. Somebody like her, she might see a man who will come to her. He got money, he got looks, nice house, nice car. In his mind, he knows that she's not wife material. But in her mind, she's thinking like, oh, I would love to have a man like that. I'm going to give my body up to him, hopefully give him good sex to keep him. Men don't think like that. We see sex as something, as an activity. We don't see sex as love or something to build a relationship off. Women do think like, I give him the best sex in the world, maybe he'll stay. How many times we heard that story when we watching Deadly Women and all that, Fatal Attraction and For My Man and all that? But what I'm saying is her thought process going into her relationship, to how she's been dealing with men, was that she thought that by doing so, opening herself up, opening her body up, that she had an opportunity to keep such a man. Not understanding that she's not on a plateau of the type of woman that type of man will want. See, there's levels to everything in life. When you go to different levels of men, each of those levels, those particular men want a particular type of woman. And a woman on her level might be here, and she might meet a guy up here, and she thought she could keep him, not understanding that he already knows that she's down here. And there's no way that he could even, marry. You see what I'm saying?
I get you.
It's I'm giving you the 411 on the way the men think. So if anything ever happened to me, God forbid, then you know.
Yeah.
So let's get through
Just
the last
because
4
people hold
minutes.
stuff inside, they feel that way. Are you angry with black men as a whole when it comes to their loyalty to black women?
I definitely am.
Okay.
Because this is the thing. If you place a white woman in a box,
Right,
and you place a black woman in a box, and you have a white magician, he's going to go for the white woman first. You know why? Because he's trying to show her he appreciates her supporting her kind,
right,
by being there. And he's going to give her that respect because he knows a lot about his people.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's about time our black guys, just appreciate your black woman. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, don't call her a thought, because at the end of the day, majority of our mothers were thoughts anyways. They had to do certain things because of certain situations they were placed in order that. And also black women, our mind feasts off things, you know what I'm trying to say? So if a black woman see that a black guy is cheating, obviously she's gonna do the same. So
Well, let me back it up. First of all, she says we shouldn't call black men shouldn't call them thoughts, even if they are, because most of their mothers were thoughts. Well, that's kind of why you're a thought, because your mother wasn't, and she taught it to you, and you carried that on. So that's your fault. Don't blame men, blame your behavior. This is lacking accountability. If you're a whore, don't say, oh, even though I'm a whore, don't call me a whore. It's time that our black women start loving it. No, take accountability. You're a whore. You're going to get the respect that a whore is due. How about being accountable and getting the due process? That's what I believe in. And secondly, I don't know why she keep going back to white men. And she said that because white men would choose a white woman because that white woman appreciate and know and understand her own kind. Black men are married to their own kind more than any race on this earth. Black men marry black women more than any other. Black men marry one. White men marry white women more than all that. Only ones I'm talking about America. In America. So black men are the ones who really, up to for the past 40, 50 years, rarely ever step outside of their race. Now, what's going on is with the podcast start off about should men go overseas to find a wife? To this, I say, a man, just like I go back to the earlier, a man should go according to what he desires. If he desires something and the woman desires, and the woman wants the same, or she wants to accept that man and the man accept the woman, go for it. I don't have anything against that. Let a man do. Now, the video that we was watching today was when somebody was going off because a black man who married a Filipino, and even before I met you, I thought about marrying a Filipino. I've met a few, talked to a few, thought about marrying a Filipino, but I said, you know what, I can't because I don't. Like I said, I go back to the mixed child, and I wasn't connected to nobody like that, close to nobody to think any differently. So, but this man was bigging up his wife on social media and all that. And some people had a problem with it, and some people was praising it, and some people saying that you shouldn't be prancing your wife or other men. And I guess he was trying to show a body off, this and the other. Some things you go too far with. I don't think you should show your wife off to anybody, especially on social media. That's supposed to be for you and you alone. If y'all do things together, y'all do things together. But you don't show your wife off to other men in that aspect. And you don't go overseas and get a wife and like, hey, look what I got. Better than black women. See, I went and got an African from Ghana. I'm not gonna be, oh, this is I got this because y'all black women, this, y'all black women. So I'm not like that. I don't care. I do what I did and I move along. I keep it moving and I do what I do. That's what it is. Because I had a lot in my past that there were good people that was with me. I wasn't the right person. You know me. My past was crazy. I was crazy. So I can't look at and say all black women because that's not even my experience. That all black women are negative. I don't even have that experience. The majority of the people that I've known have always been excellent and good to me. So, but even if somebody had a lot of bad experience with black women, that's only the minute ones that you met.
Yeah.
You probably had 3, 4, 5 relationships, and there's millions of people in the world. So because you choose bad, and you don't understand the flags, the red flags to look for in a person, that's on you. You're supposed to blame yourself, especially as a man. The same goes for women too, who talking about the swirling and divesting and all that to go deal with white men or Latino men, whatever. You're no matter what you do, you could go outside of your race, but if you have the same flaws, you're going to continue to do the same thing and wind up with the same result. And I'll give you an example. Way before I met you, when I left this country and I went overseas and I was mixing, doing whatever, I had the same mindset. And I was picking the same type of woman. From here to over there, I look at it, the woman over here was better to me than a lot of women and a lot of So I had to realize that, you know what, I'm looking for the wrong things. It was a time in my life, I wanted someone who was just like me. And I realized I'm the worst type of person to want. But sometimes we're attracted to who we are. You know what I mean? And that's what I was at the time. And I had to realize that, you know what? Me choosing the things that I'm choosing because I'm looking for all the wrong things. I wasn't looking for good character. I was looking for fast sex.
Mhm.
Fast sex is all I was looking for. Who will give me it quicker than the most? See, but then I look like, you know what? I got to start looking at the character of a woman because that's what's going to sustain itself.
Mm.
And that's when you came into play. And like I said, when it comes to the topic again, and I'm going to get your feedback on this, I'm going to leave it with this: that some men are proud to go overseas and find wives. Some of these men go to these Philippines or Brazil, this and the other, but then a lot of them come back. And when these females find out they got options, more options than the man who brought them here,
Mm.
more younger, stronger,
Mm.
financially stable men who are chasing after them, these men find out the hard way that they ain't do no better. All they did was spend money on a visa and got a what you call what's the wife, internet wife or whatever, mail order bride. So that's even when we seen a ID network or the Russian guy, the white guy who brought over the Russian woman,
Yeah.
he was as ugly and she was beautiful by the standards. So the minute she got settled, got her own job and everything, she was out. He killed her. But it happens more often than you think. And that's another danger that a lot of these men put themselves in positions where they're already not strong enough because they think that the only type of woman that they could get that want them is on the outside of America. So doing that and putting your all your heart and everything into it, and when that woman breaks your heart, these men all they can think about they can't handle it because they're not mentally or physically, excuse me, they're not mentally, emotionally strong enough. So the next thing they do, they want to kill a woman, and it happens a lot. That's why I say these women, the one, the Ghanaian one, and UK. Remember that recently when she had the kid by the white guy, Italian in Italy. You remember that?
Yeah.
And she got settled with him. He put over, paid for everything, got her visa, got her citizenship, and then she wanted to leave after that. He killed her. See, these women are playing a dangerous game, especially like I said, these men are not raised like men anymore. These men are raised like emotional women. So they're going to react like emotional women. And that's why they're quick to kill you. So all in all, my thought process is if you want to go overseas to get a wife, that's fine. But if it's for the sole purpose that, oh, because there are no good women in America, then you're going to fall victim to the same thing there that you fell for here because you're not mentally prepared and built up to be able to lead a household. I've been married here, and as you know, there, and I seen my flaws. I had to correct my flaws, and I understood that I had a lot of flaws. But by that time, I was already in Ghana for 7 years before I even met you. So I was already ingrained in Ghana and Nigeria. So to me, it was already a part of me. It was already my home. So it wasn't like that. Oh, that's the only place I can go. But like I said, today's episode from my guy was just hilarious. He was saying that if you go get your passport because if that's what you want, go there and stay there and don't come back. How you gonna tell somebody don't come back to their country because they want to go marry somebody outside the country? But go ahead, let me hear you, man.
Oh, I don't have much to say. And again,
I gotta stop saying man when I'm talking to you. Sorry, I apologize for that.
in the same situation, there are couples like there are people who get outside this country to bring women here and they still living happily, have kids, they have happy home. So and again, it depends on the choice you make. You see, I don't think you just have to get up and then go outside the country and pick a woman. You have to study her, you have to know her. Definitely you're gonna see some signs whether she's really gonna be a perfect one for you or the one that who just wanted something from you. Because you know how you guys always say that when someone is from America, it's like, I don't even see it that way. There's nothing special. You coming from America doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't matter. Who you are, that's all that matters. Is this person a good person? And there are men who go out, bring good women here and maltreat them. They just abuse them and then treat them so go badly, know that. Second, when they especially know that they have to get you the green card, when they bring you on condition or the 90-day fiancé card, right? Then you have to stay with them for some time before you get your permanent residence.
But they don't do that anymore. That was the F1 or F9, whatever it was, fiance.
Yeah.
They don't do it anymore.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's discontinued a couple years ago. But yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So they just bring them here, maltreat them, and even at the end, they don't give them what they deserve. The women deserve. They have to take them back to the country. Men who just do that for fun and treat women anyhow.
Women who do it for fun?
Men.
You said women.
Oh, excuse me then. Men who just bring women here, do whatever they think they want to do with them because they think they have all the authority. I wouldn't even come here based on green card. I wouldn't come here because you think you're from America. I don't want to say if that because it doesn't even make sense. Know who you want to be with.
What about women though? What about women who go overseas and have sex with all these little young boys, and some of them old black women, old white women who go over here and they go bring these
boys. You should know what you're getting yourself into.
And they wind up leaving them.
You are 70 years and you're bringing 20 years, 18 years, 25 lady here. What were you thinking? You are 80 years.
And they be like, we're in love, we're so in love. Dude, like 22, you 70.
Yeah.
And you think that man...
when you die in a few months' time or a few years' time.
Yeah, most men don't like wrinkled up pussy. I mean, it's just the fact of the matter.
There are some things you are seeing it, yet you still want it. So just get a result that.
But yeah, you got to take the results with it. You got to take the punishment because there is a punishment.
Exactly.
There's a lot of them. They take their money, especially the guys. The guys who do marry,
guys do that.
They take their money and they run.
Women,
They take all their old women money and then they go get their real girl and bring her over here. Yeah. But these women are so naive that they think that this young man going to stay with me, even though it's a 40-year difference. 10 years with a man is hard. It's like 10 years with a man and woman is nothing. That's just normal. Mm-hmm. But 10 years with a man and woman the opposite way, with the man being 10 years younger, that's a lot to ask of a man. And chances are that man is going to not really be into it that way. He's in it for something. And because men all want younger. That's the nature of a man. So when these women find themselves in these predicaments, it's their own fault. Because you already know the genealogy and the makeup of a man. Mm-hmm. So knowing this, you still do this, and you think that because it's you, it's going to be different. And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people get into the things that they do, and they say, because of me, it's going to be different, as if you're someone special more than all the millions of people who already been through it and suffered the same consequences.
And that's why people don't talk much when the guy is even like 80 years and the lady is 20 years. People don't talk about it because it's something normal. And you'll be surprised that that marriage or relationship is going to last for a very long time. But when
80 years ain't a long time, because 80 years you ain't living that long.
But when the woman is far older than the guy, then you should know that either the guy is a gold digger, he's just in for something. Men, they always want variety. They want change. They want to do something else, something different. Even when they have a young girl at home, they still want someone younger. So
now some men, because I know that some men, and it's normal for us to also want older women when we're younger. When we're younger, we do like older women. We like young women. We also like older women when we're young. That's every man that walks the earth. Every heterosexual man that walks the earth. And we enjoy that. It makes us feel bigger. It makes us feel like we're men when we're like 18, 19 years old and we're with a 35, 40-year-old. It makes us feel like men. And it's the true story. Like, it's every man's dream to sleep with his teacher when she's beautiful. I told you, Miss Herbert, oh man, goddamn. And history, no, not history. What she teach? English. Miss Herbert taught English. And when in my 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, God damn, man. I told you she had that pigmentation, what you call it, the Vitalo disease.
By then, you weren't thinking of sex. You were
no, I was thinking about sex. Yeah. Yeah. I ain't never had sex at that time. Never had sex at that time. But damn, that was the only thing that I was thinking about. Never even had sex before. All right, let's see what else left. so we get out of here.
Yeah, a lot of black women are exposed to that because we have a negative interpretation about us as cheaters.
Mm-hmm. It's feeding off energies, to be honest. If a guy cheat, obviously a lady's gonna cheat because nowadays it's hard to find good guys.
When you see a black guy walking down the street with a black woman, a white woman, what do you feel?
I actually love seeing black and white, Latino and African. I love seeing that because for some reason it takes me back to the time, and I'm gonna kind of take this to the biblical side, but it brings me back to where it brings me back to where in the Bible it said that there were these group of people that were building like the longest tower that's gonna reach to heaven because they want to see what's going on up there. Like they want to meet this guy, this God that everybody talks about.
She said the God,
and then it was stated that when they had reached at a certain point, God broke the tower down and separated them with different languages, and that's also how people migrated to other places, and then their colors change. So seeing a black and a white person together, it makes me happy because that's like them acknowledging that they did come from Africa and they were kind of associated with their black background before, and letting all the whole racist stuff go by and just loving each other. I'm gonna get that. But
it's interesting. I always feel that I don't think black women are racist. I feel that they are misinterpreted. And you just clearly let it be known that, hey, you don't have an issue with, I'm pretty sure you would have an issue if a black man was to say, I'm with this white girl because black woman ain't shit.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You don't like that?
I don't.
But you don't have an issue with seeing that. Okay, how about you seeing a black man with a Spanish woman? The same thing applies?
Yeah, as I said before, that's them letting their theories about because most of the colors we see, they're not physical. It's our brains that are doing these things and the proteins that are in our eyes and all of that. So that's like basically them, letting the whole racist side go and acknowledging that these are just two souls that love each other.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Two souls that love each other instead of you looking negatively about it. But of course, if he says that Spanish women are better than black women, you would take a disrespect to that.
He have his point. If his point don't have proofs to back it up, then I'm not gonna listen to that.
So he's entitled to that? You wouldn't even take that as offense?
He had his opinions. Okay. Guys have their opinions. But
that's it. Just 2 more seconds. Now, unfortunately, her, like a lot of Africans, are ignorant to racism and what it means to be black in America.
Yeah.
They think that
we know nothing about racism.
Yeah, she shows clearly that she doesn't have a clue of what goes on in this country, no matter how long she's lived here. Like I said, she's seen broken and been through a lot of different tribulations with men, and she just seemed broken, and that's a shame. And I feel for her, but from her leaving point that about the colors and our minds is not a physical. Then she went to the Tower of Babel. I mean, she's like a lot of Africans who don't understand that you are an oppressed people and you are oppressed by another people, and there are things that you need to do in order to help carry your people out of that oppression. But unfortunately, like her, a lot of our black sisters and brothers do think that way, and that's gonna be another reason that we're never gonna come out of this, because people who think like this. But that's not what this podcast is about. So we stick to the subject at hand, and I think that we got it all in. We went about 15 minutes over, And
Yeah, you know,
oh yeah,
before we
before you
go,
finish, I'm gonna let you finish because I'm gonna figure it right after you say this. I wanted to say this at the beginning. This content is brought to you by the Billionaire Mindset. So I haven't checked out his content. This came across my screen. So I'm gonna check it out, some more videos. But once again, this content right here on the screen is brought to you by the Billionaire Mindset. That's his YouTube channel. Go ahead.
yeah, I was about to say that about the racism here. That's why when you're talking much about racism here, I shut up because I know nothing about it. We don't experience and don't go through that because we are all the same over there. We don't.
Right.
The only racism we face in Africa is the rich and the poor.
And the
But
tribes.
exact and the tribes, but we are the same.
All the same.
Exactly. So we don't go through what you guys have been going through yet. So when an African is here, you don't have to talk much. You don't because you don't
Mm-hmm.
experience it. You only understand things better when you experience them. We can't experience the feelings, the pains that you guys have been going through here. You have to always fight your way through every single thing. And I cannot say that it's because of you guys that we are even able to be here.
At least you're one of
Exactly.
the few who do understand
Yeah.
that because of the fight that our ancestors
Yes.
and what we did
Yes.
that you're able to be here.
Because of you guys, that's why we Africans also have chance to be here because of the privileges you'll be fighting to get. Because if you don't get it, how are we going to get it?
It wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
And
We can never get it if you guys don't get it. So we
That's-
get it through you. So whatever you guys go through over here, we have not. So when I see Africans talking that Black Americans are this or that, I always tell them you have no idea what they are going through.
That's why they need to even shut up or follow. If you're not going to follow our lead, then
Just
shut up.
Exactly. Don't
That's
try
it.
to
Rationalize your own thoughts and
be like, no, there's no
because
brutality,
you ain't
police
lived it.
brutality, or this doesn't go through. You didn't experience it,
Right.
so you don't know how it feels like. Just
You
shut
don't
up.
know anything about red line, about
Right.
how the banks
Right.
turn us away. Like all the things that they get, the banks turn could continue to try in order that purposely we're not able to do it. But like I said, I want to keep on schedule, keep on what we're
And
talking
that's
about.
why I always also tell you that it's because of those experiences that African American, that you call Black American here, also don't have some of the attributes you guys want from them, like you want from Africans, because we have so many privileges in Africa. Black women here they also have to fight their way, like you guys also have been doing, the men. So when they are the way they talk to you, the way they act, is gonna definitely be different from African women, pure African women. You understand? But you won't get it.
I get it.
No, you don't.
I said I will get it. I said I will get it. Maybe in the bedroom, explain to me better.
And you guys also are not helping. Most of you African American men here, you don't treat your wives well.
I not treat my wife well.
You do. You are perfect in that. Do you know that I really love being here than in Ghana as being attached to you? Because when we get to Ghana, you don't know how to cook my food, so I have to do everything. But when we are here, I enjoy every single thing. The way you talk to your women sometimes, it's not you. We've been going to work, so I've been seeing some kind of a whole lot of changes and all that. I was like, wow, so these people are also married. The way they talk to their wives in public, always, like the lady said, calling them names. How can you be calling your wife bitch, thugs? And I'll be like, how do you expect her to respect you when you don't respect her? The way you talk to her in public. Some don't even know, some men don't even know that they have to work and feed their family and take care of their children. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Yeah, we can mention names like you said. But I was like, what is wrong with this man? You are not even supposed to be told that you have to work and take care of your children. Your wife have to tell you to go to work. She have to get you a job and all that. What are you thinking? So,
let's not get too detailed. Then they really want to know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right. I think we had a good show. You guys, once again, this is the Mary and Ghana show. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. All right. Once again, the Mariana Show. We out on this Friday. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. This is Steven and
Susie. Peace.
we out. Peace. Now, how do we get out of this? All right.
Chicken.